My name is Darren Gerdes, and this is a daily brief. There are 1,150 Russians off the battlefield, 9 tanks, 15 armored combat vehicles, 28 artillery pieces, 55 vehicles and fuel tanks. At the rate that they're going, the Russians they just passed 500,000 casualties. They'll be at 600,000 by September. Okay. Another missile massacre by Russians in eastern Ukraine every day, all the time. Well, yeah, you can see what's going on. This is a civilian target. It just doesn't end. Next, Russian local media actually reported yesterday about explosions 30 kilometers from the city of Orsk because of UAV attack. Therefore, I'm inclined to believe that there was indeed an attack attempt. But listen to what he has to say here. But on these satellite images, I personally do not see any traces of damage and only asphalt from a wet and rain. So he's hedging and not saying this has happened, but I'm not sure. I don't see it. So I appreciate reporting that comes with that kind of grain of salt because we don't know that that's a thing. Ukrainian drone traveled 1,800 kilometers inside Russia to attack this long-range radar station in Orsk, setting a new range record as per intelligence sources. That's important that it's setting that record. Here's another one similar to this from Nexta. The governor of the Krasnodar region reported that the drone's debris damaged an unfinished building in the village of Krinitsa. Another drone flew into the farm located very close to Putin's palace. The target of the drones could be Putin's palace, which is located very close to the farm. But the question was, Putin's palace was attacked with a question mark? We don't know. It's an open question, not saying definitively that this is what it was. And by the way, Putin has multiple palaces all over the place. It's not like hitting the White House. It's like he's got places all over. Okay. By the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel and you get value out of it by watching the Daily Brief regularly, please subscribe because I keep doing these and I want you to stay informed. Thank you. That ends the PSA. In Germany, the German foreign minister is talking about now transferring $60 million of humanitarian aid. Now, $60 million isn't a lot in the grand scheme, but $60 million and $60 million and $60 million, it adds up over time. And thank you to Germany. Zelenskyy has arrived in Spain for talks with the country's prime minister and royal family. Ukraine's expected to receive a large aid package from Spain today to the tune of 1.23 billion in US dollars or 1.13 billion euros. So that'll be very helpful as well. Okay, we talked about this strike on the Hypermart yesterday. I want you to understand something very important. These were two civilians in a Hypermart, which is basically a Lowe's or a Home Depot, that are no longer with us. And it's because what the Russians do is they're willing to strike civilian targets left and right, like that apartment building I just showed you, or just a Home Depot. Why? But seriously, why? What is happening here? And where's the outcry from the world? Last bit I want to leave you with is, this is Che Bao's. He's from RT and he's a Russian propagandist. And his claim here is that if the bloodthirsty elites who propagate this needless war have their way, the United States will find itself at war with Russia, China, and Iran like they're pushing for it. No. By pushing back Russia, they're actually reducing the probability of war. And then he has this picture of this wife apparently at the grave of her military husband, and he's trying to make a point, but I think he's exactly backwards. And by the way, today is Memorial Day in the United States, and I want to say thank you to anyone who has served our country. I know that's Veterans Day, but I also want to say thank you to those who are not with us, and I know they're not going to hear me here because, well, for obvious reasons, but we can't forget about that. And we don't want to enter into something like this, like a potential war, lightly. We want to find the best prescription to stay out of or reduce the war that is raging. And the best way to reduce the war that is raging now is to stop it with overwhelming force by providing the Ukrainians everything that they need in order to stop Russia's aggression. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being that kind of person that cares about Ukraine.